Hello, everybody, and welcome to the next episode of the Wayward Lasses, All the Things podcast. You both went. What the heck?
Anyways, do things like not realizing.
You'll see it in the video at the same exact time you did it. Okay. Welcome to the next episode. On today's episode, we are going to be talking about discipline and motivation. But before we hop into that, Mom has trivia because she did not do well last time.
Hey.
Wow.
I need to call attention to that. All right, guys. This is fun trivia nursery rhyme.
Oh, Lord.
All right. The nursery rhyme, 1, 2, buckle my shoe, is a great way to learn to count to 10. What rhyme is used for number 10?
Begin again. 9, 10. Start over again. Begin again.
I don't even know. 1, 2, buckle my shoe. 3, 4, knock on the door. 5, 6, pick up sticks. 7, 8.
Lay them straight. 9, 10. A big fat hen.
There you go. Big fat hen.
Where does the hen come from? We got sticks. We got shoes.
Do you know 11, 12?
There's more?
Yeah.
I know. 1, 2, Freddy's coming for
you.
3, 4, better. Yeah. Next.
All right. How about this one? When little Jack Horner sat in the corner, what was
Eating
he
his
eating?
curds and whey.
Oh, no, Brittany. No.
He was eating his curds and whey.
No, he wasn't. That was Little Miss Muffet. Little Jack Horner put in his thumb and pulled out a plum and said, "What a good boy am I."
But what was he eating in the corner?
He was
Porridge.
eating pie.
What kind of pie?
Plum pie.
He was eating, and Little Jack Horner sat in a corner eating. Oh my gosh, eating what kind of a pie?
A pumpkin pie.
A
A
berry
blueberry
pie?
pie.
Some kind of a berry pie. I don't know,
It
Mom.
was a Christmas pie.
Eating a Christmas pie. It had to be
It's a
like
Christmas pie.
He put in
Put
his
in his
thumb and pulled out a plum
and
and
said,
said,
"What a good boy am I."
First of all, let's break that down. He just stuck his thumb in there. He's like, oh, I'm a good boy. Okay.
I think you need to
Next.
backtrack even more than that. What is a Christmas pie?
What is a Christmas pie? Why is he in the corner eating the pie? Is he in trouble? Did he steal this pie?
Why did he use his thumb? Did he not have a fork? These are all valid questions.
Who puts plums in pies? Are Christmas pies plums?
It's allegedly the story of how a bishop of Glastonbury hid the deeds of several manors in a pie and sent them to Henry VIII as a bribe. And the courier Jack Horner stole the deed to Mel, a manor that was still owned by the Horner family in the 20th century. I never would have known that. Come on, let's move forward.
Okay.
Jack be nimble, Jack be quick, Jack. What
Jumped
did
over a
Jack do?
candlestick.
Hey. Okay,
If
here's
only
for you,
he
Britt.
jumped a little higher, he wouldn't have set his pants on fire. Okay.
All right, Britt, this is for you. Little Miss Muffet still sat on her tuffet. But on opposite day, can you choose what the spider did while she ate her curds and whey?
He didn't sat down beside her. He walked away. He sat on the other side of the room.
Along came a spider, sat down beside her,
And said, "What a good girl you are!"
and scared Miss Muffet away.
He stood up across the room from her. He stood up.
He stood up across the room instead of sitting down next to her.
And started telling jokes, so she wasn't scared.
It's a funny spider.
All right, couple more. How did the farmer's wife injure the 3 blind mice?
She chopped their heads off.
Cut off their tails with a carving knife.
With a carving knife.
I was close.
Oh,
Oh, sure.
heads or tails?
Okay, ready? Ooh, that
I don't
one's
really
a
know
long one.
these.
What word?
Did you hear that?
I heard it.
Oh. Sorry. What word is missing? Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a blank of water.
A pail.
Pale.
A pail. All right. Oh dear, Johnny Green did a very cruel thing when he put a cat into a well. But fortunately, a kind lad came to the rescue and pulled her out. Who was this helpful boy?
I have no idea.
Jack Horner. That guy with put his thumbs. What a good boy am I?
No
I
idea.
didn't know this one.
I don't
either.
even know this one.
All right,
I
Tommy
don't think I heard
Stout.
this one. No, I don't know about Tommy.
Tommy Shelby.
Tommy Stout.
Tommy Shelby.
But if he's got an amber or a brown ale, I'll have that one. Do you know? No? Okay, never mind.
No, I got it. Stout beer. You like stout beers?
I don't.
Well, Mom does.
Mom does.
I do. All right.
Okay.
Last one.
Sure.
Who sat in the corner eating Christmas pie, putting in his thumb and pulling a plum?
We already did this.
Give
I
us a
wanted you to
different
get it.
Little Jack
Right.
Horner.
There's little Jack Corner. All right. Who kissed the girls and made them cry?
Oh,
Not little Jack Horner, because he was a good boy.
is his name Billy or something? Oh, I don't know.
Georgie Porgy.
Georgie Porgy. I knew it was like I was going to say
Georgie?
Billy Nilly.
Millie Vanilli.
All right, let's try to end on a good
Georgie
note. I said that was the last
Okay.
one, but where did Peter Pumpkin Eater put his wife?
How to wife and couldn't keep her.
Put her in
a pumpkin patch.
shell. Pumpkin shell.
What? Pumpkin shell.
Pumpkin patch? Pumpkin patch.
shell.
Pumpkin shell. And there he kept her very
shell.
well.
And there he kept her very well. That is it.
He didn't put her in a pumpkin
guys.
patch. He put her inside of a pumpkin shell. A very massive pumpkin shell.
Yeah,
That's another one to unpack.
Yeah, another time. We'll do it. We'll do another episode on unpacking the
nursery
trauma
rhymes.
of our nursery rhymes. Dear Lord.
Okay. Oh my gosh. All right. So today, like I said, we wanted to talk about discipline and motivation. And in order to kind of start that off, it started with these two videos. So I'm going to play them for you so you can hear them here. But also on the YouTube channel, we're also going to have them on there as well. But here we go. So here's the first one. Why does it do that? It does that.
Cut that
I'm gonna have
out,
to
Brittany.
cut that out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care how good you are in anything. You don't have discipline. You ain't nobody. Right. You're nothing without discipline. Because you give up under the slightest struggle without discipline. 100%. Discipline is doing what you hate to do, but do it like you love it.
Doing what you hate to do, but do it like you love it. That is a great quote.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can do that, you can be successful in anything.
What do you think most people get wrong about motivation?
They think it's a permanent fix. They think it's something that is a constant. They think that maybe once I get it, I'm going to hold on to it. And that's the thing about that I was telling you, that I always talk about. Nothing is permanent. Nothing is permanent. And a lot of times you have to learn to perform without motivation.
Fuck your motivation. Fuck your motivation. You need discipline. Because motivation's not there every day. I'm missing motivation most days. Somebody's like, fuck yeah, today I felt good. I can't wait to get to the gym. But a lot of days, like, gotta get to the gym. And then once I get going, then I feel great. Yeah. And I feel great when it's over.
You have to learn to train your mind well beyond motivation. Motivation, you have to learn to exist without it. You have to learn to be your best self when you're least motivated.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was the first one. And I guess we can just start there. I think that really just stood out to me in this. Yeah, it really sets us up for this conversation of, I think that is common. Everyone's like, gotta have the motivation. But just like that, they were saying in the video, your motivation is not always going to be there. So you have to learn how to do the things that you want to do in order to achieve the goals that you want to achieve when that motivation won't be there. And that comes from discipline.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like a 3-step thing. First, you have to because we often talk about having the mindset to do something, right? So having the mindset to believe that I could actually complete something, that I could actually do something, right? So that's there. Then you've got the motivation. That's that spark that says, yeah, I can do this. And that's great. But I think that only lasts for a certain period of time, which is why, like, I have had conversations with Courtney and Brittany. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with doing a lot of motivational podcasts, because I think people need them every single day. I know I do. But I think what turns that motivation into action is the discipline. So I could have motivation all I want, but if I am not disciplined enough, and I use the gym analogy because that's my struggle sometimes, is if I don't have the discipline to, when the alarm clock goes off at 5:30, to get up, get myself out of bed, put my gym clothes on, rather than just hit the alarm and snooze and just, I need a few more minutes of sleep. If I don't have the discipline to go through those actions and get my butt to the gym, then I'm nowhere. So I think discipline is really what helps you complete the action, or turn that motivation into action, and that helps you achieve your goals.
Courtney, were you going to say something?
No, I was just going to add that is my own personal struggle, is self-discipline. Mm-hmm. And I've talked about it before on the podcast, but I am not a routine kind of person. I never have been. And I'm more of like, just, whatever, it's fine, whatever. Having the smaller kids, because with Sammy, our life was kind of just crazy when he was young, so we didn't have routines. But having Emma and Kai and David around pushed me to have routines, and I've seen such a difference just in them. But me having this, like, getting up and doing the same thing every day, I'm going to get up at this time, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. Like, I can start it, but I rarely, like, the consistency is what I have a problem with, and having that self-discipline. So for me, this whole thing is a big issue for me, because I don't have that discipline. I'm working on it. It's progress.
Yeah, I think it's hard too, because I think a lot of it is in your head. And I always think of the Gorillaz song where he says, "No squealing, just remember that it's all in your head." And a lot of the times it's just a mental game you're playing with yourself, whether it's maybe you're about to give a presentation, or you're about to take on this new task, or you're about to try this new diet or do this new workout. 9 times out of 10, it's in your head, and it's you not believing in yourself, and you're not trusting yourself. And then also having the discipline to say to yourself, get up, get off the couch, go and do this. It's just in your head. And the other video that I wanted to play, just to kind of go along with that, is actually Conor McGregor talking about him preparing for his fights. And I always found this video very interesting, because he talks about creating and having that discipline in your mindset. So I'm going to play that, and let's see if it actually plays the first time.
Time to train at that time. Set a time to go sleep at that time. Set a time to get up at that time. Don't tell yourself you need to do something and then don't do it. That's what I was talking about with Ariel. I knew in my head, I was saying, get up at this time. I didn't get up at that time. Train at this time. I didn't train at that time. Don't eat this. I ate that. Don't drink that. I drank it. And these all just infiltrate my mental strength. Just little kind of defeat. Exactly, little defeats instead of wins. And it just culminates into, I just don't want to be here. So I'm just figuring myself out. Like, I'm never figuring myself out.
I like that too. Every time that you let yourself down, like, I'm going to wake up at this time, and you don't, and you hit that snooze button, or every time you eat the thing that you said you weren't going to eat, whether it's those awful lemon Girl Scout cookies. But anyway, every time you do that, you are losing a battle in your head, and it's loss after loss after loss instead of wins. And it will culminate in your brain and make you more mentally weak and further away from having the discipline to be able to achieve the things that you're wanting to achieve.
Yeah. And I'm thinking about now something that Martha taught us. I've been talking about this a lot since she brought it up, because I never knew the 67 days. When you have that moment of weakness, like, I'm going to get up, I'm going to commit maybe to 67 days where I'm going to say to myself that thing in my head that's like, you can't do it, you're not going to get up, you're not going to do this. I'm going to try to replace that with a positive thought. No, I am going to do this. I am going to do this. And I'm going to have to recognize that it's going to take me some time. And I think that's what, like, my struggle is that the time of it, like, I make the commitment right now, and then tomorrow, I don't feel like it. And so I'm like, I'm just going to give up. So it's like being able to, like, I think having that number, that quantifiable 67 days or whatever goal you set for yourself. I'm going to do this for this amount of days, but you have to do the mental work of replacing the negative thought or the defeating thought or whatever it is with a positive one. And you have to do the work. It takes work to change your mindset. It's not just a decision that you make one day. You actually have to put that work in.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have just a couple of things to share with you guys to help build that mental stamina, to help yourself get to that discipline that you need, because I think we are all on the same page here. It does get very difficult. When you hit that lull, you've been working for something so hard and then boom, it's just point to go, I just can't, I just need a break and this and this and that. And so we've got some tips and tricks to kind of help you guys through those things. And we're also going to take these into account as well, because this is also something that we struggle with. So there's a bunch of them, but create habits and routines that incorporate your goals. So for example, one of my goals obviously is going to be fitness. So what is a habit or routine that I could do that will incorporate that overall goal of maybe reaching a certain number on the scale or fitting into a certain, pair of jeans again? And for me, that has become waking up and doing my cardio. Do you want me guys to keep going, or do you want to give examples as well?
Well, I was just going to say, something as simple as washing your face. If you don't like to wash your face, but you get into the habit of just doing it every morning, then you don't have to be motivated to wash your face in the morning, because it's just that
what you do.
It's just what you do. And I think that's the whole point of that, is create a habit. But again, going back to what I said before, understand that habit is going to take time. You're not going to make the decision to wash your face every day tomorrow and then be like, that's it, I'm doing it from now on. You have to create the habit. And that's the thing about creating a habit. It takes time. It doesn't happen overnight.
It's like those commercials when we were younger. Verb, it's what you do.
Exactly.
Just a quick side note, being a teacher, I think I've talked about this before, but the reason why teaching Spanish was hard to English people is because they didn't understand English grammar. And I would have a sentence that says, Johnny buys apples, and be like, what's the verb? And they're like, apples. I'm like, no, verb, it's what you do. They just didn't have that commercial growing up. So it's for younger generation. Okay, another tip for you: set realistic and achievable goals, but break them out into smaller steps. We talk about this all the time. Don't say, I want to lose 20 pounds. Break that down into a smaller step. I want to maybe lose a pound this week, or I want to do X, Y, and Z, but don't make it one big goal, because if you have that overarching goal constantly looming over your head, you feel like you're never going to attain it. Break it down into smaller, realistic goals that you can check off, and track your progress as you are getting towards these goals, and as you are building these habits and you're training yourself mentally and physically, whatever it needs to be. Track your progress, because when you start seeing those small wins and you're tracking that progress, when that motivation starts dying out, you can look at that and be like, you know what? I've been making progress. I've been doing well. It says not for naught. It says, all this work and what did it get me? But you're making that progress. So track that progress. We always talk about this. Find an accountability buddy. And I'm very thankful that Alex is doing it with me, but I also have you guys, because no matter what, I have somebody to turn to. So find yourself, an accountability buddy, and surround yourself with a positive environment that allows you to grow into the person that you need to be so you can accomplish these goals, whether it's surrounding yourself with certain types of people, or putting visuals up on the walls, or maybe listening to motivational podcasts or those motivational YouTube things that you listen to, Mom. But constantly surrounding yourself with that positivity is going to be super important. And also practicing self-compassion, because your motivation is going to wane. There are going to be days where you feel tired. There are going to be days where you don't want to do it, but practice that self-compassion, because just like Courtney was saying, it takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. Just because you washed your face today doesn't mean like, oh, here it is, it's a habit, we're here. You're going to fail, you're going to fall off the wagon, and maybe you're going to be dragging behind it sometimes, like Courtney says every now and then. But it's okay. Practice that self-compassion, cheer yourself on, and look back on that tracked progress that you have going to give yourself that motivation when you fall off. What do you guys think so far about some of those?
I think preach, girl. We can close now. Thank you guys for joining us. Have a nice night. No.
I think though too, how do I put this? We talk about self-compassion, but I also think, like I covered this last week. Am I really just being lazy, or is it my body saying, okay, you're doing too much right now, right? So having the ability to really hear what your body's saying to you, and then being able to discern or tell the difference between one or the other. So last week or the week before, I knew I was tired. I knew I was saying I was fighting something. Courtney gave me something over the phone, right, when she was sick, when she had COVID. I felt it.
Guys, beware, you can contract COVID via the phone now.
But I think having that compassion for yourself, but also being truthful to yourself as far as, okay, I'm just not really feeling well, or am I just feeling lazy? Right? I think you need to be completely honest with yourself if you want to change and forge that way for that new habit. Because if you're constantly making excuses for yourself, and I think it's only going to hurt you in the long run. So be truthful. Have that discernment as to whether, something is really happening to your body that's telling you, no, don't do something, or am I really just being lazy? Okay.
No, I agree with that. And honestly, I think we talked about this last time. I got this Whoop, and it has been.
Yes.
And did you get yours?
No, I haven't got it yet.
It has been eye-opening because I just thought feeling tired was just part of my life now, and I'll see my recovery, and like I would have a 24% recovery, and I was doing 30-minute Peloton, going super hard, like keeping my heart rate above 140 the entire time for 30 minutes. Then I did a 15-minute Peloton warm up, and then I did like an hour of weight training, and then 15-20 minutes of abs. And I was because it shows your strain in your recovery and your sleep. I was doing way more strain than my body had recovered, and I didn't know to pay attention to that. So then there was a day where I was just like, oh my gosh, my recovery is awful. I can't go, like, maybe I need a rest day. I'm not being lazy. I'm listening to my body. And then I did have a rest day. I slept very good that night. And the next day my recovery was way up and I was able to push harder. So you're absolutely correct. Just because if you need to take a break doesn't mean that you're lazy. It's also listening to your body. But I think there are other things too that kind of come into building that discipline in your head. So a couple more things about that. Start small. Just like we talked about, start small to help build that discipline. I really liked what Conor said there. If you're going to say you're going to wake up at 7, wake up at 7.
Yeah.
Do it. Every time that you do that, you are losing a battle in your head, and you are becoming more weak mentally. So don't lie to yourself. Don't set things for yourself and not do it. Do what you say that you're going to do. Schedule and prioritize. If you've got things going on, write them down, like, use your little index cards, but schedule and prioritize and get those things done and check them off your list. Eliminate distractions is another really good tip, whether it's putting your phone on silent or actually having a workspace to work in. That will help build some of your mental stability there. Oh, here's a little kitty. We talked about this before, but consistency is key. It's not going to happen overnight. Keep going, keep fighting the battle. Eventually it will become a habit. And especially if you make that habit something that feeds into your overall goal, your habits are now going to be helping you win every day. And then once again, celebrate those small victories. When you're starting to feel down and you realize that motivation is gone, you can't always rely on motivation. It's got to be that discipline. So when you feel down and out, celebrate the small victories that you have. For sure. Courtney, you still have a child running around? Okay. Awesome. So we did go through a lot there. But once again, that was Mike Tyson talking. That was Joe Rogan. That was Conor McGregor. And then who was the other one? David Goggins. David Goggins.
That was David Goggins?
That was David Goggins.
Oh.
Have you guys read his book?
I've halfway through. I'm like halfway through every book.
The second one, because he has 2 books out. I listened to the second one. This man is a beast. He is just, I'm just going to go for a 100-mile run real quick. He's just out there. But they really do make a good point. You can't rely on motivation. And that's, I think, just to kind of close it all out, is you can't always rely on motivation. There are going to be days where you feel down, where you feel out. And in order to get you through those lulls, you have to rely on discipline. And in order to build that, follow those tips and tricks that we gave you. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be hard. As you start to build these habits into your daily routines, they will start becoming who you are, and you will start seeing progress to the goals that you have set out for yourself. But discipline, self-discipline, I think, is kind of the summary.
To that.
Go ahead.
So as far as discipline goes, I think about the businesses that we've started, right? Had the mindset, I had the motivation, I'm ready to do this. But it's like, okay, did you have a list of people? Did you make those phone calls? Did you reach out to those people? Did you you've got to be disciplined to follow those steps. And if you miss it, I've got posts that I've got to make, right? And if you miss them, and if you don't prioritize on what you have to do, whether that be writing something on a list and then checking it off as you go, I think discipline is the most important thing. So I'm going to keep talking about that. So I don't know. I lost my train of thought there.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. And I think for me, having just, I don't know, everyone's different, but for me to physically write something down and check it off, like those are small wins for me. So yeah.
I tried that, Brittany. I bought this whole I should find it somewhere. It's just a list my to-do list. And I think I did it for like a week.
And what happened?
Checklists are not my thing, I guess. I should just give them to you. It's just a whole pad of like to-dos. And I started doing them. I did it in February. I did it for like straight 2 weeks. And then I don't know what happened. And that's when I like fell off. Like you didn't see me like posting anymore. You didn't see me. Yeah. I don't know what that was. Maybe I should start doing the checklists.
Like I've said before, I'm thankful that it's the three of us, because whenever we do fall off, we have a support system to help build this up. So thankful for you guys. But that is everything, I think. Court Mom, you have anything else left to share with the group?
I can add one little itty bitty tiny thing.
She's back.
I'm back. I was silent for a moment there. But I do think there's something to be said about also doing some self-reflection and self-evaluation and seeing if you have too much on your plate. I know sometimes for me, I don't feel motivated, and we're talking about what to do when you don't feel motivated, because motivation won't even be there, having that discipline. But sometimes it is just that I have taken on too much and I don't have the time to do certain things, and I'm putting myself last. So I would say do some self-reflection, and you said prioritize the things, but I also think it's okay to prioritize yourself.
Absolutely.
And that is something that I am working on currently. And that is not to say you're going to turn around to your family and be like, I'm not helping you until I help myself. It just means, like we've talked about, listen to your body, listen to yourself, listen to what's happening. And if you need a minute away, if you need to go do this, if you need to whatever it is, if you need to tell somebody no, so that you can have that extra bit of time for yourself, whatever it is, it's okay to prioritize your health. It's okay. It's not bad to prioritize your health, especially if you want to be there for your family in the long run. You need to prioritize your mental health, your physical health, all of those things. So don't just prioritize your things, prioritize yourself as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Maybe a call to action. I would challenge all of our listeners this next week to find one thing that you can challenge yourself to, make it small, but just do it every day. Whether it's you wake up without hitting snooze, or you wash your face every night, or I don't know, you make sure the clothes are folded before you just throw them on the floor. Whatever it is, find something, make it small, and try to do it every day for a week, and then add another week. And we'll just get there. We'll get there.
And I'll add to that challenge. Find yourself an accountability buddy. Yeah. Let them know what that challenge is and ask them to text you every day for the week.
I like it.
And say, did you have your water today? Did you fold those clothes today? Even if it's just for 1 week. Because having that accountability, knowing that person, you're either going to flat out lie to them or make them, you know what? You should have them just send them a picture. Yeah.
Prove it.
Be the proof that those clothes are folded right now.
I love it. Awesome, guys. Well, anybody else have anything to add?
Wait, I have one question, though.
Oh,
sorry.
Go.
We talked about before, wasn't it Mel Robbins where Courtney, you and David were like 3, 2, 1, go? Was that her?
Yeah. It's the 5-second rule.
Oh, the 5-second rule. Okay. I think using that is a fun thing, when you're not motivated. Like, all right, 3, 2, 1, go. Or is it 5, 4, 3, 2, 1?
Yeah. 5, 4,
Yeah,
3,
which
2,
one?
1, go. You don't give yourself, Brittany knows how to say it better, I think, than I do, but it's like you, within 5 seconds, you decide you're not going to do it, so you don't do it. So
Yeah.
before those 5 seconds are up, you just do it. Don't even think about it.
Yep.
Yeah. I
So.
like that. I did that a few times.
5 second rule. We
2,
should
1.
revisit that. Yeah.
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Just do it.
Go. Yeah.
All right.
Sorry.
Anybody else? All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. Please like, share, and subscribe, and comment, and do all of the things. Thank you so much for joining us. Until next time. My brain, guys. I said the same thing twice. I realized I did that. It is late at the time we're recording, and my brain is not properly functioning at the moment. So, thank you for joining us. Until next time, we are the Wayward Lasses, reminding you to keep it real.
Oh, God. Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye. Guys.